Oh, welcome to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? I'm Thule.
I'm Ace. We didn't do that in the other one. We're 5 episodes deep now. We've perfected the craft, probably,
of being ill-prepared.
Of watching a movie and then talking about that movie.
Yeah, we're fucking...
Because that's what we're doing
we're
right
on
now.
The fucking ball, man.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
So we watched...
I didn't smoke shit either.
We watched Dead Alive. And this, I feel like at least this, of the ones that we've done so far, it at least should be on the more popular scale. Because this is not a bad movie. It actually is a really good movie. Made by the fantastic Peter Jackson.
You may know him from the Lord of the fucking Rings movies.
He made the Godfather trilogy.
He did a whole bunch of other shits too, like Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, and the Matrix trilogy.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh. Right on.
Probably. I don't know. So it starts off in some country somewhere,
like presumably Africa or South America or somewhere where there's monkeys.
And so this monkey is what brings on the whole fucking near zombie apocalypse.
It's supposed to be like a rare rat monkey, but.
Still, I'm watching this movie and like even seeing stuff from Meet the Feebles. I'm like, this motherfucker eventually made the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
And what's funny is because this movie is so goofy the whole time. It's just bumbling. But you know what?
Goofy. You cannot knock the fucking special effects in this movie.
No, dude,
they're amazing. They're beautiful. I also noticed a lot of the cut. Okay, so like the editing and stuff like that. A lot of the scenes.
This is a fun fact because this is also like really good work of forced perspective. So like there's a few scenes where you see train cars or like the trolley cars. Those are little tiny models
I could tell.
that are
there
blended
was one
in.
scene that I could tell.
And so like they used a lot of that shit in Lord of the Rings to make fucking the hobbits look so small in comparison to fucking Gandalf.
Really?
Yeah. So what was your favorite scene?
I actually had this. Hold up. My favorite...
or like top two or three like scenes.
I know I should have fucking wrote it down. What scene I liked the most? The scene with the priest I really liked. I thought that like at that point. Okay, so I think up until that point, nothing like really actiony had happened until that priest pops up, and then that's when like some shit actually starts happening, and that's when. And he was kicking the shit out of those guys too. He's doing a good job.
Well, what's funny is like he immediately knew what to fucking do. Like he was like, fucking unholy demons and bust out fucking karate.
Okay, so favorite scenes. I love that pudding scene. I just something about that I love. It is. You could. So in movies, when something happens and another character sees it and just lets it fucking happen, and I understand why from the writer's point, director's point, like that, like realistically, she'd have been like, no, don't. Instead of just seeing that, obviously she just squirted her fucking bloody ooze shit into this dude's pudding, and he's eating the pudding, which he never turned into a zombie because he consumed that blood. I don't think that would matter.
Well, what's funny about this movie is, like, there's no time. It's like, as soon as you get bit, like, just like that, you're
pretty
fucking
much,
zombie.
Yeah, you're a zombie. Well, no, there's that one girl who got bit in the neck. It took her, she didn't turn into a zombie until the baby fucking ripped her
out
head
of her
open.
face.
That was really fucking cool. The part where they took the one lady and they jammed the back of her head over a light bulb, and then her whole head starts illuminating.
And then eventually catches on fire and shit.
Yeah, she starts bursting into flames, and then Paquita just goes and fucking turns on the gas valve, and like that immediately would have blew the whole damn building up. But
I wouldn't have
whatever.
blown up the building,
Physics.
but it would have sent flames for a fucking while. I think they did that pretty good. I don't know. I've never tried it. We should try it.
We should try that eventually.
I got electric stove here.
Get your
Can't do
kid.
it
Get
here.
your. Oh, I was gonna say at least get your kid out of here first.
Yeah.
What else was there? I
So-
don't know. What was a couple of your favorite parts?
When they were kicking the head it was like cut off.
It was cut
from
off
the
right
jaw.
there, yep.
So it was just like the bottom teeth like scraping.
They
along,
kicked
they're
it, and then it
kicking
smacked in the
around.
front door. The door knocked it, and it slid back around.
It was
Yeah,
like
that
a running
hilarious.
joke for like 4 minutes of them like
I thought
booting
that was really
fucking
funny,
head
too.
around and shit. Now, obviously, like probably the most famous scene of the movie is when he's fucking goring up all those zombies with the fucking lawnmower, which is awesome.
That was fantastic. That's the 10-year gap between these movies, between me watching this movie, that's the only scene that I remembered from this movie.
Yeah, I mean, previous to watching it, that's like the only scene I was aware of.
Really?
Because like, I don't know, like watching like, like a top 10 list or something that pops up on fucking YouTube. And they're like, yeah, Dead Alive, and they show that scene as like, like the goriest scenes in movies or whatever. And so I was like, man, that's pretty fucking gnarly. I should watch it. And I forgot about it forever.
Another scene I really liked was when they were at they're at the dinner table, but it's after he, brought in like the fucking greaser zombies and the nurse and his mom and the priest.
Yeah, and they're all zombies
And they're all
strapped up at
just,
the table.
yeah, and they're like eating at the table and shit, and like the one of the greaser zombies takes a spoon,
Jams
shoves it,
it.
and it goes to the back of his head.
Yeah,
but
he's
then
like,
when
"Brr."
the priest starts having sex with the nurse,
Yeah, that was
and
funny.
she bites his she like starts.
Yeah,
I'm
bites
trying to
like
remember
the whole
the fucking dude's name. Leonard, something like that.
priest.
No, the son. Anyway, Lionel, that's his name. Lionel, that's the son's name. I don't know. There were so many scenes. There were tons of scenes that I loved from this movie. There were so many horribly gory scenes. There were so many awkward scenes that had zero explanation to them. There was like
Didn't need it.
Well, all right. There was the scene where
Oh, that actually, you know what? That brings me to like one of my favorite scenes, which was also like really awful too. It was the very end when the mother's fucking gigantic and on the top of the house, and it looked like a Muppet.
I think that was the inspiration for the cave troll in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that kind of makes
Just like
sense.
it.
That
Just like
kind of
it.
makes sense.
I think so. I got
With
hard vibes.
much smaller fucking titties and nipples.
Yeah, the cave troll. Yeah.
Yeah, but fucking that thing splits open and like all the blood is gushing out over the roof, just like the fucking Shining and shit.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So much blood in this movie.
Yeah, I think it's been
oh.
not so much like a Guinness World Record, but some type of world record for like the most blood used.
My favorite zombie in the movie is the uncle. That's what it was, because the mom, she takes in. I think she either grabs the bottom of his spine or just grabs the skull and just rips it out, and so his like
like does like the Predator movie.
yeah,
rips,
so it's
like, the
just
whole
his
spinal
body,
column
but then
out.
his fucking spine is hanging up, and it's just head just moving around.
There was
That's so cool looking. I think it's. So
I keep
cool.
remembering like all these fucking amazing deaths. Like when the fucking one zombie rips that guy's rib cage, his whole rib
completely
cage
out.
out. It is so. What I love about it's like it like looks really good, but it's just so not serious at the same time, and they're not
There's
trying to
plenty of
hide
that.
it, and I love it.
There's plenty of that. Putting what I thought was really cool, the same like top half of that head, they put it in that blender at one point.
Yeah. Oh, she tried to stuff like the baby in that fucking thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How
did that baby die?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Well, the baby wound up
some way.
It got lit on fire because the baby wound up inside that other lady and ripped her face in half.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The special effects in this were so fucking amazing.
It was really fucking good.
I thought the special effects were fantastic. They reminded me a lot of The Thing. They did. Some of the zombies, especially the uncle, that reminded me of The Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there was just like It's just too much to fucking mention.
Yeah,
it's
there's
such
just
a cool
so much,
fucking
and
movie.
it is such a goofy movie too. Like there's so much like violence and gore and such, but it's like just very lighthearted at the same time. And it's a horror movie, but it's more of a comedy horror, I guess. It's definitely not scary at all.
No, you can see everything coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing's so realistic that it like grosses you out, especially now. Like maybe
compared to now, because no one ever does practical effects anymore. It's all CGI.
Yeah.
Welcome to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? We're talking about Young
50
Guns.
exactly 50 minutes into this conversation,
We're doing
and
good.
we should probably talk about. Oh, what else is there to talk about fucking Dead or it's
There's not
so
good. Like just more random weird ass shit that
yeah.
happens in it, but it's just good. Like once this movie starts, it really does. It doesn't stop. It just escalates. It gets more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And it's also, for as much as happens in this movie, it's still like not like that big of a movie. Like it all takes place at a couple random places.
There's like
a zoo for 2 minutes, and the rest of the movie all takes place in the house.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like all the movie takes place in the fucking house.
It was a big fucking house, though.
And he just decides that instead of alerting anyone about these zombies, he just stores them in his fucking basement.
Yeah.
And feeds them.
It's really all you need to know. Oh, he tries to kill him with like fucking poison and fucking other shit.
No, what is he injecting them with that like puts them asleep for like 2 fucking
isn't
minutes?
Isn't that what ends up making? Yeah, because like they had that scene where he's like basically like you got to put your mother down, and he gets a bottle labeled poison, and fills up a giant syringe and shoves it up his mom's nose. And I think that's what makes her all giant.
Maybe she gets injected with it a lot.
Yeah, because there was some other shit that he was injecting him with.
Alright, so one other scene that I thought was fucking awesome too was a scene that Peter Jackson was also in, because he's like the assistant or some shit like that. He had his food on top of dude's dead mom as she's like being pumped with, like, I'm guessing like formaldehyde and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
she just explodes.
Oh, that's right.
And shit goes everywhere, and like he
But they're
still
like
grabs his food.
They're in the next room. It's not even like they were somewhere else. It was like, oh, we got to wheel this body out there for the fucking funeral.
They're right in the next damn room.
Yeah.
And then
it's like oozing blood, and he like pops the eyeballs back in.
He like does this. Oh, here, well, let's fix this, and just goes like this, and just like, boop, pops her eyes back in. Like, all right, we're good.
We're good here.
Oh my god! And then there was a scene where he's visiting his mom at her grave in the middle of the night, and the greasers show up, and one of them starts pissing on the fucking grave, and the hand comes up, just grabs him right by the dick and pulls him into the ground, and just rips him apart. Yeah. There's a bunch of random ass greasers in this movie.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, it fits the period.
I guess so. New Zealand, I didn't know there were greasers.
I don't think there was a single gun in this movie either. Was there? I don't remember any gun.
No guns. I don't think so.
Which is really odd, because basically every fucking movie that has anything to do with a zombie is like shoot him in the head.
Yeah, I don't think that really. It didn't matter in this because there was a scene where one of them was cut. One of the greasers was cut completely in half.
Yeah, and he runs his legs and he kicks him
away.
in the fucking ass and shit, or like kicks him in the shins.
And what was it about the uncle, the really the big fat dude?
He was all fucking horny and drunk and fucked up, and he's rubbing a bottle of whiskey on his dick and shit.
Yeah, he got kicked in the dick like fucking 4 times throughout the movie. He even got kicked in the dick by the baby who kicked him in the dick with just a zombie legs.
Some people are in that, man.
Some people are really fucking into
that. Welcome to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? Not sponsored by Cock and Ball Torture.
No. Leave them alone.
We don't want to sign your dirty contracts.
Don't even flick them.
We will not endorse your products.
Leave them alone. Just leave them alone.